Hi, I'm back. I finally finished up Rita Donnelly's journal. It's a junk journal, and it took me quite a long time. I have to say to all you ladies that make these and can make so many in a week or a month, I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you find the time. I feel so guilty whenever I go in my craft room. So I have this one, and then one more that I promised for Lee Pogue. And then after that, I just am going to do what I can when I can. I have like 5 journals already in the process, junk journals, so it's kind of cool. I can just kind of start on those. But anyways, this is one that I promised to my dear friend Rita. And this is a kit that I got from Nectar Creations, and I will put a link to her website below. This page right here, I bought this image from Etsy, and I'll link that as well below, but I thought that that went well with the kit, and I did like a twine binding, and this is actually craft text. I love how it turned out. So I have a bolt of craft text, and it looks like this, and I used some chalkboard paint. And what I did was I just put it on the craft text, and then I got a wet wipe and I rubbed it on, and then that's the effect that I ended up with. And I think that it turned out really great. I love how it turned out. And I have a seam binding, is that what this is called? Seam binding closure. And so let's get to the inside. Here's my inside pocket, and I made a little tag, and this is a real flower that I put on there, and there's some journaling lines, and it says prayer. And this is just some burlap that I coffee stained and some butter bee scraps corners. And here's the paper line. It's so pretty. I got these little clothespins. I don't know if I'll be able to get close enough for you to see, but I got little Bible pages, and I used my, what's that stuff called? I forgot, on top to seal it. So one says praise thee and the other says rejoice, and this is supposed to look like a little clothesline, and it says beautiful minds inspire others. And I pretty much left most of the thread that was hanging off everything. I don't know, I just like the look of that, so I left it there. And a little bird. Use scraps throughout this whole thing. And I use my corner punch, which is this one right here. I love this. This is my favorite. And it's getting kind of dull. I know you can sharpen it with tinfoil, but I bought another one because it was really hard for me to find it when I found it. And I think it's called Something Old, Something New by Fiskars. And it's kind of hard for me to find when I was looking for it, so I thought I better get it while I can. And her little kit comes with little tabs. And there's a vellum page. Isn't her paper pretty? And this is actually clip art that I purchased from Etsy, and what I did was I coffee stained my paper, cut it down, and then I ran it through my printer, and I printed this on the sides of my paper, and I thought it matched the paper line perfectly. It turned out really cute. And here's a little pocket I created, and it says God hears you even if no one else does. And that's some muslin that I ran through my little typewriter and typed that. And it's a pocket. See, and I kind of shrunk down that image. And I tried to put something everywhere that is actually a pocket, because I got a journal from someone and I wasn't sure what was a pocket and what wasn't, and I pulled things apart that I shouldn't have been pulling apart. And here's some extras that I just thought I'd throw in there. It says never lose your little girl heart. And this one says, how lucky am I to have something that makes saying goodbye so hard. And that's a saying by Winnie the Pooh. And I put that same saying right here on the other side of the pocket. And Rita had asked me, because I made her something before, and I believe I must have put a little stamp in there. And she asked me to include that stamp in the book, which I did. But I also made her this little pouch, and it says, never lose your little girl heart. And so I used my scraps and just sewed that on there. And then I'm going to include the little stamp that she asked me to stamp in there. It's a little best friend stamp. It's me and Rita. And here's the next page. Isn't this paper so pretty? I love it. And here's another pocket that I created. I just used a lot of my scraps and sewed them together, glued them on. This is a magnet pocket, so I covered up the magnet with some more scraps. And this says blessed. Some more of that vellum paper. And this says, kindness is a language that the deaf can hear and the blind can see, and that's a quote from Mark Twain. And there's a little paper clip that looks like a little coffee cup. That was my first signature, and here's my second. And a little bag, and here's some more things that didn't make it into the junk journal for whatever reason. This is actually a little pocket. Stick those in there. Did a little bit of stamping. I have so many stamps and I never use them because I don't like how they turn out when I stamp. This is a little pocket. It says prayer. I typed that on paper and then sewed it on the fabric. I think that turned out really cute. And this fabric, I'm the world's worst sewer in the world. I have to practice before I will even attempt to sew on anything. And you should see how much practice material that I've used. So I just decided instead of throwing it away, I would use it. So I kind of sewed some scrap on top of that. And I don't know, I need to perfect my sewing techniques. This says answered prayer, so that's the other side of that pocket. Some more scraps. More of her beautiful paper. And this says, your value doesn't decrease based on someone's ability to see your worth. I need to paperclip that in. And this is cute. This is a little, has a magnet on the back, so it sticks right there. And a little flower I created with a button, and it's just some little paper. Fold it up and sticks right there. I just like how it looks, you know, all layered. And then this right here, it's a little teeny coffee cup with a little heart, and it says first God then coffee, because I know a lot of times when I wake up I'm ready for my coffee, but we should always put the Lord first before anything, because I wouldn't even have coffee if it wasn't for him. And this says compliment someone today. Just another little piece of scrap. And this is a yellow notepad that I had, so I coffee stained the paper, and then I used some vintage photo on the sides, and used my punch, and then used my scraps. And this is really cute. I used my scraps and I created a little house that says flowers, and I put this in there to show that that's a pocket. And that's a cute little stamp I have. It's a little dog with a little bird. He's holding a little string and the birdie's pulling him up. Isn't that cute? So I thought she could leave it in here, or she can use it somewhere else if she wants. Just, this isn't a side pocket. I just sewed on that just for decoration. And then this is actually just a little piece of extra fabric I had, and there's a magnet on each side. So that can hold something. I just put that there so she knows she could stick something in there. And here's the next page. Piece of bag, or this is the bag, the other side of the bag, and I tried to create some little flowers with my leftover material, just so it didn't look so plain. And then Rita gave me some of her screen that I guess her husband did something and installed some new screens, and she sent me a chunk of it, so I used it. Just a little bit of paper. And there's the other side. Did the same thing with the flowers. Now we're on our third signature. I really like that. I love how that turned out. And then a little tag that I glued on there, and I put this there so she knows it's a tuck spot. This is a pocket up here. And when you flip it over, there's a pocket right here. And this is where I stuck that best friend stamp right here, and I wasn't sure if it really went with the whole theme. Not that there's really a theme, but I noticed her paper had a tea theme, and I don't know, I didn't know if this went, so I have air freshener in my car, and this is it. And so what I did was I took it out and I photocopied it, because that is so cute, and it says enjoy the little things, and I put a magnet on the back, and it just sticks right there. There's a magnet under the fabric, and sticks right there, and there's that stamp. Did some more stamping. Here's the pretty paper, vellum. This is actually a little corner pocket. Same here. And this is a cute little pocket, a flip pocket that I created, and it says, "You will keep him in perfect peace whose mind is stayed on you because he trusts in you." And I believe that's I think that's a scripture from Isaiah, I think. And that's a little pocket. And on the other side, I was trying to make a little like topiary, if that's how you say it. I used embroidery floss. I was just testing out the idea, and then my embroidery floss was this like mint green color, so it didn't look like greenery. So I used my watercolor pens and colored the embroidery thread, and then I closed it, and then what happened was it stained my paper, so it was green right here. Can't really tell on this side. So that's why I stuck this on here, and it says, "It is well with my soul." Vellum. And another flower. And here's an image I found on Pinterest, and I photoshopped the word in here, "Sweet one, you are loved." And Rita might notice this pocket's kind of thick because it looked like something else, and I didn't like the look of it. I didn't think it fit the album, so I just covered it with some material, and it's a pocket. And like I said, I just kind of tried to stick something everywhere so she knew that there's a pocket. And this paper is really cute. Let me see. Just a watercolor image I got off the internet. We're getting to the end. And I did put some bells on some of the little strings that were hanging. Not all of them, but some. And this says, "With God all things are possible." And this is actually almost my last page. Isn't this pocket cute? I made this little flower, and on the other side is another, just decorated it. Thought that turned out cute. And then just a little tag and some of the paper that I made. And that's the last page. This is how it turned out on the inside, and that says "Handmade by Lisa." And that is it. Now, one thing that I wanted to share with you guys, a lot of the material that I used in here is this. And I got this from Michael's. It's kind of over by the wedding section where all the ribbon is, and it says "Celebrate It." I don't know if someone really wants it, they could look, buy it online. But isn't this so pretty? So I would cut it however much I needed, and then I would actually cut this off because this is wire, and then I'd rip it, and I like the rip look, and I just kind of use this middle, this middle section right here. Thought it was really pretty. I did want to show you one more thing. Hold on one second. Sorry. Also, I had this little tea bag in here. I made this little bag out of material, and my son Elijah, he thought, but I took it out in the end. He thought that this looked like a cup, and so I made a handle so it actually looked like a little teacup, and then I had this sticking out of the pocket, you know, so it kind of looked like a little, so it had, do you know what I'm talking about? So it looked like a little teacup with a little tea bag. And then in the end, I just took it out. I don't know why. I thought it kind of made it a little bit bulky. I'll probably throw it in there for her. And that is it. One thing I did want to mention about, I have gotten a lot of requests about how I did my resting technique. And I have to tell you what happened. When I did it, I researched a lot. And I did a couple things. One is I bought stuff that actually, that's an actual rust, like it makes things rust. They're expensive, and I thought, no, I want to find something that people can use with things that they have at their house. So I watched so many videos, and I found like 3 of them that were really good that teach you how to rust things, and so that's how I did them. But then when it came time to me making a video, because I can't edit my videos, I mean, I just record them on my phone, and that's how they come out. I have to figure out a way to, like a process video. But what I'm going to do is I am going to make a video next weekend on how I do rust my metal, so you guys can see, and I'll put links, and then you guys can kind of go to where you want and do what you want. But I wanted you to have an alternative to be able to rust things besides buying expensive stuff, because I bought 2 types of rusting products. I think one was like $30 or $40, and then I just found another one on a video I watched for something that someone made using a product they got from Radio Shack of all places. So I'll share that with you when I do make the video. And I'm not going to promise I'm going to make it next Sunday, but I am going to make it in the next couple weeks for sure, because I've gotten so many requests. So that is it. If you have any questions, let me know. Like I said, I'm going to make one more journal, and that's going to be for Lee Pogue. And then after that, I'm just going to have fun making my own when I can, because like I've said before, if I even step a toe in my craft room, I just feel so guilty. I love my family, and I feel like I just don't want to, you know, my son's at home still, he's 12, and I just don't want to lose that time that I have with him. So anyways, you guys have a great day, and God bless you. Bye-bye.